Good morning, children. In previous class, we had studied about the chemical properties of bases. In today's class, we are going to learn whether acids and bases will conduct electricity or not. Also, we will learn what happens when acid is added to water and base is added to water. Okay, let us start with an activity. See, children, this is a beaker. Okay, in this beaker, here I have placed rubber cork. Okay, on this rubber cork I have placed two nails, and these two nails are iron nails, and they are connected to the one nail is connected to the terminal of the battery. This is the battery. It is 6-volt battery, and another one is connected through the battery through switch and bulb. Okay, so in this beaker we are placing the dilute acid solution. Dilute acid solutions like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Okay, we are placing the dilute acids like hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. Okay, then we will switch on this. Okay, when we will switch on, we'll observe that this bulb will glow brightly. This bulb will glow brightly. Okay, why this bulb will glow brightly? When we on this switch. Okay, again we will repeat this activity with dilute base. Again we will repeat the same activity with the dilute base solutions like sodium hydroxide solution, potassium hydroxide solution, calcium hydroxide solution, etc. Now we will remove this dilute acid solution from this beaker, and we will place the dilute base solutions like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. Any one of the base dilute base solution is placed, not all these, any one of among this. Okay, so again when we switch on, okay, this circuit, electricity flows through this circuit and will absorb this bulb will glow brightly. Okay, why this bulb glows? When electricity is passed through the dilute acid solution and dilute base solutions. What is the reason behind the conductance of electricity by acids and bases? We will see now. See here, bulb glows brightly when hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid or nitric acids, they are placed in this beaker. Okay, because see here, this is hydrochloric acid, this is sulfuric acid and this is nitric acid. Okay, this is nitric acid. If you observe all these acids, in all the acids hydrogen is common. Okay, in all the acids hydrogen is common. And these acids, they ionizes and they releases H plus ion and Cl minus ion. Okay, this hydrochloric acid is ionized into H plus ion and Cl minus ion, and this sulfuric acid ionizes into H plus ion and SO4 2 minus ion. Okay, see here, two hydrogen atoms are there. Okay, on complete ionization, it is ionized into 2 H plus and SO4 2 minus. Okay, and this nitric acid is ionized as H plus and NO3 ions. Okay, here this acids, when they are ionized, when they breaks, they releases H plus ion and anions like this. Depending on if the hydrochloric acid is used, then chloride anion will be released. If sulfuric acid is used, then sulfate anion will be released. If nitric acid is used, then nitrate anion will be released. Okay, and these ions, okay, these ions, H plus ion, Cl minus ion, and H plus, and this is sulfate, nitrate, all these ions are responsible for, they are responsible for the conductance of electricity. They are responsible for the conductance of electricity. These ions, they are mobile, and while moving they carries the electric current, okay, because of the movement of these ions. Here electricity is conducted, as a result bulb glows brightly. Okay, let us see in case of bases. Okay, when bases are taken in that beaker, and if we repeat that activity with the bases, we will observe that bulb glows brightly. Okay, here see here examples for bases are sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide. Okay, they are all bases. If you see here, in all the bases OH ion is common. Okay, when this sodium hydroxide breaks or it undergoes ionization, it releases sodium cation and OH minus ion. This one is known as hydroxide ion. Similarly, when potassium hydroxide undergoes ionization, it releases potassium cation and OH minus ion. This is hydroxide ion. When this calcium undergoes ionization, it releases calcium cation and 2 hydroxide ions. See here 2 OH. Here 2 hydroxide ions are there. Therefore, here 2 OH minus ions are released. Similarly, magnesium also undergoes ionization and it forms the magnesium cation and 2 hydroxide ions. Okay, and these ions are responsible for, these ions are responsible for the conductance of electricity. Are responsible for the conductance of electricity. Okay, when external current is provided, or when when we on switch, okay, these ions will flow from one place to another place. While moving, they will conduct the electricity. Okay, because of this reason, when this activity, okay, when this activity is repeated with the acids, dilute acid solution and dilute base solution, they will observe bulb glows brightly. Okay, because here both acids and bases will conduct electricity. Okay, these acids and bases will conduct electricity. They are good conductor of electricity. Acid and base solutions are good conductors of electricity, and conductivity of electricity is due to the release of these ions. In case of acid, H plus ions are responsible, and in case of that base, OH minus ions are responsible. Even this positively and negatively charged ions in case of base and acids, okay, they are also responsible. Okay, because of this mobile ions, this acid solution and base solution conduct electricity. But when we repeat this same activity with alcohol and glucose, okay, even though this alcohol, for example, if we take ethanol, chemical formula of the ethanol is C2H5OH. It is the chemical formula of ethanol. And glucose, chemical formula of glucose is C6H12O6. Okay, even though, see here, in case of ethanol, it is having OH as well as hydrogen atoms. But when this activity is carried out by using alcohol, bulb does not glow. Even when we repeat this activity with this glucose, here see here also in glucose hydrogen ions are there. Here also we will observe the same result, that is bulb does not glow, because in these two cases, even though they are having hydrogen, but they are not non-ionizable. They are not ionizable hydrogens. They are non-ionizable. They are non-ionizable hydrogens. Therefore, when they are dissolved in water, they are not ionizing. As a result, here no ions are released. As a result, these two compounds, okay, they do not conduct electricity. Okay, from this activity we can conclude that acids and bases, they can conduct electricity. This is the common property possessed by both acid and base. Children, let us see what happens when acid is dissolved in water. Okay, see, when an acid is dissolved in water, or when an acid is added to water, acid undergoes ionization. Then what is ionization? Let us see. The separation of H plus ions from the acid molecule in water is called ionization of an acid. Okay, ionization of an acid is the separation of H plus ions from the acid molecule in water. Let us say examples. We will understand this definition with examples. See here, ionization of hydrochloric acid. HCl is the chemical formula of hydrochloric acid. When this hydrochloric acid, it is a liquid when it is added to water. When this hydrochloric acid is added to water, this hydrochloric acid breaks into H plus ion and Cl minus ion. Okay, see here we are separating this hydrogen ion. Okay, this on the hydrogen atom there is a positive charge. Therefore, this is hydrogen cation, or we can also say this as proton, because this is hydrogen and it carries positive charge. Here no electrons are present in the hydrogen. Therefore, here only proton is present. Okay, so this is known as proton, or this can be called as proton. Okay, so on dissolving this hydrochloric, on adding this hydrochloric acid in water, it breaks into hydrogen ion or proton and chloride ion. Okay, similarly we will see this nitric acid. When it is added to water, again it breaks into proton or a hydrogen ion and nitrate ion. Okay, here this is a negative part. Okay, negatively charged part. So this is nitrate ion. This is negatively charged ion and this is positively charged ion. Similarly, see here, this is acetic acid. This is acetic acid when it is added to water. Again, it also breaks into acetate ion and hydrogen ion. Okay, whenever an acid is added to water, it undergoes ionization to release hydrogen ion and negatively charged ion. Negatively charged ion depends on the type of acid we have taken. If we have taken HCl, then negatively charged ion will be chloride. If we have taken this nitric acid, then negatively charged ion will be nitrate. If we have taken this acetic acid, then negatively charged ion will be acetate ion. Okay, let us see what happens when base is dissolved in water. When base is added to water, or it is dissolved in water, base also undergoes ionization. Okay, again we will define ionization of a base. Okay, the separation of OH minus ions or hydroxide ions, this is also known as hydroxide ion. The separation of hydroxide ion from the base molecule in water is called ionization of a base. Let us understand with example. See here, this is sodium hydroxide. This is sodium hydroxide. When it is a solid. Sodium hydroxide is a solid. When it is added to water and when it is dissolved, it breaks into sodium cation and hydroxide ion. Similarly, this potassium hydroxide, it is also a solid. When it is added to water and it is dissolved, again it breaks or it ionizes into potassium cation and hydroxide anion or hydroxide ion. This is magnesium hydroxide. Again it is a solid. When it is dissolved in water, okay, or when it is added to water and it is dissolved, it ionizes into magnesium cation and hydroxide ion. Here two hydroxide ions are released because in this magnesium hydroxide molecule two hydroxide ions are there, two OH. See here, therefore here two hydroxide ions are released. So whenever acids are added to water, they releases hydrogen ion. When bases are added to water, they releases OH minus ions. So we can conclude that all acids releases hydrogen ions and all bases releases OH minus ions, that is hydroxide ion. Children, let us see acid and base, when they react, they form salt and water. Okay, see here, HX is the general chemical formula of the acid. General chemical formula. If an acid is having hydrogen, means we can say any substance which is capable of releasing hydrogen is said to be acid. So here we have taken X. Okay, X may be chloride, sulfate, nitrate. Okay, X may be chloride, sulfate, nitrate. So it is the general chemical formula of acid. And MOH, it is the general chemical formula of the base. Okay, usually all bases, they are metallic hydroxides, where M may be potassium, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, calcium, etc. Okay, metals. Okay, it is the general chemical formula of base. When acid and base they react, salt and water are formed. See here, this metal ion from the base, we will see like this. This acid, it ionizes into H plus and X minus. Okay, whereas this base ionizes into M plus and OH minus. Okay, see here, this X minus, this anion from acid will combine with cation, that is metal ion from the base, and they will form salt like MX. Okay, it will form salt, and this hydrogen ion which is released by the acid will combine with the hydroxide ion which is released by the base. Okay, the hydrogen ion which is released by the acid will combine with the hydroxide ion which is released by the base, and these two will combine and they will form water. Okay, this is nothing but it is H2O. For convenience, for understanding purpose, I have written like this. This is H2O, it is water. Okay, like this, the acids releases hydrogen ion and bases releases hydroxide ion. Let us see, this is the dissolving of an acid or base. It is highly exothermic reaction, especially this one acid. It is highly exothermic reaction. On dissolving acid in water, okay, whenever we are dissolving acid in water, the beaker in which we are dissolving the acid in water, it becomes hot. Okay, always in laboratory, while adding or while dissolving acid in water, always we have to add acid to water. Always acid is added slowly to water with constant stirring. Okay, but not water is added to acid. Okay, on this question may be asked like this: why acid is added to water but not water to acid? Okay, it is also common sense and it should be followed in labs, because if water is added to acid, what happens? Actually, we have to add acid to water. But if we add water to acid, what happens we will see now. When water is added to acid, okay, actually this dissolving of acid in water is exothermic process. Okay, if we add water to acid, it is exothermic process, and heat generated may cause the here heat will more amount of heat is generated, huge amount of heat is generated, and it may cause the mixture to splash out and cause burns. Okay, if we add water to acid, then water will start boiling. Just you think, water will start boiling when water is added to acid. It means that much amount of energy is released when water is added to acid. So to avoid this kind of accident, we have to add always acid to water. Okay, so if we add water to acid, the heat generated or the heat released will cause the water boiling. It means that much amount of heat is released. Sometimes what happens, if more heat, huge amount of heat is released, means glass container may also break due to excessive heat releasing. Okay, so that's why always acids are added to water slowly with constant stirring. Actually, whenever we are adding acid or base to water, we say that we are diluting the acid and bases. Mixing of an acid or base with water results in decrease in concentration of ions per unit volume. Okay, this process is called dilution. Adding of or mixing of an acid or base with water, it will result in decrease in the concentration of ions, that is hydroxide ion and hydronium ion per unit volume. Okay, this process is called dilution. Okay, so see here, when acid is added to water, we can say that we are diluting the acid, or acid is diluted. On diluting the acid, concentration of the acid in solution decreases. Okay, here acid will be solute and water will be solvent. Therefore, concentration of the acid decreases when acid is diluted. To dilute acid, we have to add water. Similarly, base. When base is added to water, here base is solute and water is solvent. Here base is diluted and concentration of the base decreases. Okay, remember this is also important. Sometimes questions may be asked like this: what happens when water is added to base and acid? Okay, we have to say that when water is added to base or dilute, its concentration decreases. Okay, or questions may be asked like this: on diluting the acids and bases, what happens, or what is the effect? Okay, concentration of the acid decreases. Okay. Children, see here, I have forgotten here that when this hydrogen ion is released, okay, when this hydrogen ion is released, this hydrogen ion will not exist alone. It means it will not present in the form of H plus ion in solution, but the hydrogen ion released here when ionization of acid takes place. Hydrogen ion is released, and this hydrogen ion will not be present alone. It means it will combine with the water molecule. It will combine with water molecule and it will form hydronium ion. will form hydronium ion. It does not exist in the form of this hydrogen ion. It does not exist in the form of ion, but it in the form of proton. Instead of this hydrogen will combine with the water. Okay, will combine with the one water molecule and it is converted into hydronium ion. Always in acid, okay, in acid hydrogen ion is present in the form of hydronium ion. Always it is present in combined form. It is always combined with water and it is present in the form of hydronium ion, but not proton but not hydrogen ion. Okay children, so far we have discussed about this dilution of acids and how electricity is conducted by the acid and bases. In next class we will see how acidity and basicity are measured.